Hey, I disappeared. Hello. So yeah, it's been a little bit. I privated all my videos a couple of weeks ago at this point, and I haven't made a video since. I kind of just disappeared. But hello. This feels weird. I really have missed talking to the camera and really missed chatting with you all, but I just kind of had a breaking point a couple of weeks ago and just needed to kind of go offline. Like, I've been on my Bookstagram. I actually went there and deleted all my Instagram posts. I'm kind of restarting my Instagram just because I wasn't liking what I had going on there, and I do want to incorporate that more and do more pictures. And I also was just not happy with YouTube. I just don't know why. Like, I don't know why people feel the need to comment on other people's bodies and feel the need to comment on other people's lives without knowing anything about it. Like, I just feel like I'm here to talk about books and not be criticized so much about the way that I look. And I also have been feeling a lot of burnout with my channel. I am working full time now, and when I started this channel, I was in high school, and I then went on to college, and in both of those instances in my life, I was not working full time. I had a part-time job, which was great. I was able to focus on school and make some money on the side, and I was living at home. Well, then about 2 years ago at this point, I bought this house. Now I'm a homeowner, and that is just a lot of responsibility, and it does take a lot of my time to take care of this house. And in June, I started working full time since I had graduated college, and I've been doing that ever since. And I've just discovered it is extremely, extremely difficult to work a 40-hour week and produce YouTube content. I just find it incredibly difficult. Like, it is so time consuming, and I just felt like I was doing nothing but working, trying to read as much as I possibly could to make a video, and the burnout was just so immense. I couldn't do it anymore. I was just like, wow, this is a lot. So I kind of just disappeared, and I also just felt like my videos were not good quality. Like, I didn't like the content that I was producing. I felt like I was just like a production mill. Like, I was just trying to produce as much as I possibly could without taking into consideration the quality of my videos. So that's just kind of an explanation. I am still feeling a little bit burnt out. I'm a little hesitant to come back to YouTube just because of how I've been burned in the past. But so I don't know if this is the beginning of a vlog. I don't know if this video is coming out. I don't know what this is. I think it's just kind of a hi, hello. I do miss vlogging. I do miss talking to y'all because this is truly the only space I have to like talk out loud about my thoughts on books or tell someone about like my day. Like, obviously I tell my parents about my day and stuff, but it just doesn't feel the same, you know? Like, this feels like a conversation with friends, and I feel like I could just tell y'all like, hey, you know, this is what I'm reading, and oh, like, look at this cool thing I got in the mail. And I just feel like this is my space to do that, to just kind of like be real and talk about books and talk about some life things here and there. But yeah, so I do really miss making videos, but I don't think I want to make quite the same quantity of videos that I was making in the past. That is just not realistic for me anymore. My time is very limited for what time I do have to read, and I also really want to pick up other hobbies. I really miss knitting. I love painting, and I was pushing all of those aside just to make videos because I thought that was the only thing I should be investing my time in, and that's just not true. I have other hobbies other than making videos and talking about books on the internet, and I had those hobbies long before I joined BookTube. So I do want to keep doing those hobbies and make space for those hobbies and not let YouTube consume my entire life like it did. And I know I've lost a lot of subscribers. I don't blame y'all for leaving. I didn't say if I was coming back or not. I just kind of was like, I'm out of here. So I don't blame y'all for leaving, and I don't blame y'all if you keep leaving, but I don't know if I'm quite ready to leave YouTube forever, but we'll just kind of see where things go. So I guess I'll just go into what I am currently reading. I did start a new audiobook this weekend. It's currently Sunday. I started Notes on an Execution, which is for the book club for the Witchwood Apothecary, which is the Patreon for Steph. I did join her Patreon recently because I was like, I need a space to talk about books, and I really need like a safe community to feel comfortable in, and that has been absolutely incredible. Like, I have loved being a part of her community. It's been so welcoming and so fun, and I've loved participating in all of the community events going on over there. So that is definitely a huge happiness for me recently. So I started that because there is a live show coming up at the end of the week for that book, and I would like to get that finished. And then I have been reading for a couple weeks now, A Day of Fallen Night. I finally started this because Steph was like, I'm gonna start reading it, and I'm like, I'm gonna join you because this is the one book I cannot let 2023 go by without reading it. So I'm currently 250 pages into it and having the best time. I am annotating it just like I did with the first book, and I'm loving this. I may even be loving this more than Priory, which is just insane to say. So truly loving this a whole heckin' ton, and I just want to keep reading it. Like, that's another thing with booktube, is that I was just pushing myself to read so much. Like, this has been the worst reading year I've ever had. Not in terms of quantity, but in quality. The quality of the books that I've been reading this year is astronomically horrible. I've disliked so much of what I've read. I've DNF'd so many books, and I have just hated so much of what I've read, and I've given out more 3 and 4 stars than ever. And 4 stars is like, that's good, but where's the 5 stars? Like, I can't even recall any 5 stars that I've read this year, which is just terrible. So I also kind of hate monthly wrap-ups. I don't know, I just hate having to gather the books and hate having to like sit for like 30 minutes and talk about, I don't know. I kind of just hate sit down videos right now, but I don't know. I just feel weird about my channel. I still do. I don't know where we're going. I don't know what I should do, if I should even do anything. Like, I don't know. And that's another reason why I kind of left, is like, I don't really know what direction my channel's going into, and for someone being on booktube for like 5-6 years at this point, and I haven't even reached 1,000 subscribers, and I see other creators who've had their channel for way less time than me, and they have like 4 times the subscribers. And it's not a race and it's not a numbers game, but I do feel like I should be at a higher subscriber count considering how long I have been on booktube. So I'm just feeling pretty insecure about my channel right now, to be completely transparent with y'all. So I just kind of want to film clips here and there, I guess, and see how it goes and see if I have the will to edit it together. So yeah, I don't know what to expect with my channel, and I don't know kind of where to go from here, but I cannot let booktube consume my life like I let it the last couple of months. I was truly not in a good space the last couple of months, and I don't think I realized that until recently, and I truly was realizing how much time I was putting into booktube and ignoring so many responsibilities. I was not taking care of myself. I was letting the house kind of go to the wayside. Like, I was just so focused on content, and it was really toxic for me, and I didn't realize that until fairly recently, which is when I just stopped making videos and just kind of disappeared. Hey, editing me here, just popping in to clarify, by toxicity, I mean self-inflicted toxicity. I was creating a lot of anxiety for myself with booktube, so it was nothing going on in booktube or online, it was just self-inflicted. I can't let that happen again for my own sake. I really want YouTube to just be something fun, something cool, something for me to just post little videos about books and things. Like, I don't want it to be this obsession that I had and just needing to make videos constantly all the time. Like, it's okay to take a break. It's okay to like stop doing something and maybe come back to it later. So I know I get obsessive, and I am really conscious of that these days. I get very obsessive with things that I really like. And for some reason, books books have never been that way. Like, I have been obsessive with buying books, that's never changed, but I've never been obsessive with reading. Like, reading's just always been that constant thing. It's just a constant beat. Every day I do some reading. But with YouTube, it just got really obsessive for me. Like, I just was wanting to make content, and every time I saw a book come in the mail, I have to make content about that. And oh look, I need to make content about that. And oh look, here's like 20 video ideas, and I had them planned out for like every single month, and it's like, that's just not sustainable for me. I truly can't do that. So I'm sorry if that's not for you. I do apologize, but I cannot be the content girlies that Books and Lala and Becca from Becca and the Books and Gavin, like, I cannot be those big booktubers because I simply do not have the time nor energy to dedicate to stuff like that. So if you want more like casual, just like live chat, book chat, editing me again, just wanting to clarify some more information because I was filming this kind of late at night and not really explaining things, but I do plan on doing like monthly hopeful videos where books that I want to maybe get to for the month but certainly do not have to, and also do recent favorite videos where I talk about recent 4 and 5 star reads. And I also do want to do some more themed vlogs and make them more long form and give myself the time to do that. So there is going to be fun, cool, interesting new content, not just vlogs. So I just want to make that clear. Like, it is a little bit of a rebranding for me, but it's still going to be fun over here. Trust me. So that's kind of the rebranding, I guess, I'm doing of my channel. I just want to make book content in a very, very casual way. So I think this is maybe the start of a weekly vlog. It is Sunday. I do typically start vlogs on Saturday or Sunday. So we'll just vlog until I don't want to vlog anymore, and or I think the video has gone on long enough and I'll just start editing it. So sorry this is so long and rambly, but I just feel like y'all deserved a little bit of an explanation for what happened and kind of where I'm at. So yeah, I'll chat with y'all later. It's Monday and I had a doctor's appointment today, which I was dreading, as I dread every doctor's appointment. So he said, "You're doing all the right things," and I quote, he said, "You're healthy on paper, but you need to work on your weight." So I'm like, well, that's a good thing, isn't it? If I'm healthy on paper, aren't I healthy? Like, I don't know. Like, obviously I know I weigh too much, I know that, but like, I don't know, the way he phrased it made me seem like, you know, I'm like healthy or whatever. Which, like, if you look at my lab results, truly everything's where it should be, and like, I'm not in any bad ranges of anything. So like, I'm honestly healthy. I just, the weight is making me not look healthy. But anyway, so I go back to work. Well, I go to work because I had an early appointment, and then around like 2:15 or so, I actually forgot to get labs done, which I was supposed to do a couple weeks ago and totally forgot. So they did my labs while I was there, and he said, "I'll call you if it's anything serious, but otherwise I will see you in 6 months," because I see him every 6 months to evaluate my thyroid and stuff because I have Hashimoto's. And so at 2:15 I get a call from his office. I'm like, huh, that's interesting. So usually I don't answer, but I was like, well, I probably should. So I did, and he wants to see me on Friday now and talk about my results. So I'm real nervous now because apparently that means something's not right. So that's unfortunate and really nerve-wracking. So I guess I'll try to call them tomorrow as soon as they open and see if they could just tell me at least what number they're so concerned about, so I can use my Google PhD and Google it and panic about it even more. So anywho, that's all I really have for an update. I am still reading A Day of Fall and Night and obsessed with it, and listening to No Sun and Execution, which I'm also loving and do want to talk about more, but I do need to go down for dinner right now. And I do start cat sitting tomorrow, so I should definitely finish Notes on an Execution within a few days because I blast through the audiobooks when I'm cat sitting, and I'm cat sitting Tuesday to Saturday. So lots of audiobook listening will be done this week, which is great. So I also made some new thumbnail ideas for my channel. I'm kind of like rebranding, which is fun. Honestly, I'm feeling excited to come back to my channel, and I feel refreshed. Like I feel like I just needed a break, and I feel like I just did it in the most dramatic way possible. So sorry about that, but I just feel like I just needed a break, and I was just feeling so incredibly overwhelmed. So I feel a lot better now. I think I just needed a break. So anyways, I'll chat with y'all later. I think my fairy lights are about to come on in the background, so if they do, it's okay. They're on a timer, so I think they're gonna come on like any second now. There they are. I knew they were gonna come on soon. Hello, it is Tuesday. It feels like it should be Thursday today, but unfortunately it is not. But it's been a bad week. Like I feel like, okay, that's dramatic. I feel like it's been a poor week to start my return to booktube vlog because it's been nothing but anxiety this week. Like, holy cow, you guys. Anyways, so I did want to chat a little bit more about my current reads because I'm just loving them. So my current audiobook, which I may be able to finish tomorrow, if not Thursday, is Notes on an Execution by Kukafka. I don't think I'm pronouncing that correctly, but this is the book club pick for Steph Patreon book club. I feel like I look really washed out. Let me just like click that down a little. That looks better. I hope it's not too dark, but it just looked a little too bright. So I'm reading this for that book club, and I just joined Steph's Patreon a couple weeks ago, so getting on this a little late because the video coming out for this book is coming out on Thursday, and then there's a live discussion on Friday, so definitely a little late to the party, but I will finish it before all those videos. I'm loving this book. I can definitively say this is one of the best books that I've read this year. I just can't stop listening to it, and I've been thinking about it a lot, and it's just one of those books that is so powerful, and I definitely want to own a copy for myself. So I believe this book is a literary fiction work, and we follow our first perspective, which is told in the second person perspective, which I really love in books. So we are introduced to this character who is at first unnamed, and we don't know who they are, and they are on death row, and they only have 12 hours at the beginning of the book until they are sentenced to death for a crime that we don't know about and figure out as the book goes on. And it's a pretty intriguing chapter. Like that is like one of the best first chapters of a book that I've read in a very long time. It was so captivating. I'm like, wow, I have to keep going. And then in the next chapter it's Lavender, and we learn more about her, and then every other chapter it changes. So it starts off with 12 hours, it goes to Lavender's perspective and we learn about her, and then it goes to 10 hours and we go back to the second person perspective. And as the story progresses, all of these different characters tie into each other and tie back to that person who's on death row, and we figure out why they're on death row. And I really think this author is doing a very masterful job of not swaying our opinion in any way, shape, or form about this prisoner on death row. It is very much a morally gray story, and I think all of the characters have done good and bad things in this story. Nobody's perfect, but nobody is like horribly evil, but like maybe they are, and it's just so interesting. Like I love books that explore that duality of like, are people inherently good or are they inherently bad? Like that conversation could just go on for hours, I feel like. And I feel like this book would have been absolutely perfect for my women on trial class I took in my last semester of college. I just feel like we could have talked about this book for like 2 weeks straight. There is so much going on that is just so well done, and I'm just loving this book. And I'm not loving it not because of like, I feel like loving it seems weird, like it feels weird to say that I'm loving this book, but I think the author is an amazing writer and is really bringing this story to life. And I just love that like it's really up to you on how you feel about this person on death row. Like, are they guilty? Do they deserve to be on death row? And it's it's so interesting. It's so good. It's so well written. And I have, let's see, I have an hour and 11 minutes left on Libby and on 1.8 speed. I'd say that's roughly 45, maybe 50 minutes-ish. So I may be able to finish that tomorrow because I am cat sitting for the rest of the week. So I might be able to do that, but I am really liking it. It is just like mind-blowingly good and I'm loving it. And then I'm only reading 2 books right now, which is honestly so nice. I was reading 3 books consistently at the same time for the past several weeks and I'm like, this is just not sustainable. My little pea brain cannot keep up with all these different books. Really, 2 books is my sweet spot. Like having an audiobook and a physical book is just perfect. Like I cannot do more. I was pushing myself to do more, but I truly can't. So still listening to A Day of Fallen Night, and I need to update my bookmark, but I believe I'm on chapter 45 and oh my gosh, things have happened in this book. And I know from reading Priory, because obviously I read that one first, that certain characters do survive in this book, but now I'm questioning if some of these perspectives that we're following don't make it, because I probably shouldn't have done this, but I went and read the synopsis of Priory again and I'm like, I don't think some of these characters survive. So now I'm like, oh no. So I'm really loving this though. Like, I don't know how so many people have hated this book. Like, maybe that's not the right word. I've seen a lot of people who loved Priory pick this book up and say it's mediocre, they DNF'd it, they didn't like it. And I'm like, how could you not like it? This book is so good. I almost feel like it could possibly be stronger than Priory, but I don't know. I haven't read Priory since it came out in 2018, 2019. So it's definitely been a few years since I've read Priory, and I never reread it before reading this because this is the prequel, so I didn't think I needed to read that to read this, and I definitely think that's true. I think you could read this series in any order. If you want to start with this, great. If you want to start with Priory, great. Like, I don't think it really matters, although I almost wish I had read this first because now I feel like it would make more sense to read Priory now because of the events in here. But I'm definitely going to reread Priory when the second book comes out, probably in a couple years, because Samantha Shannon said that she's taking a break from this series to focus on the Bone Season series, and I am looking forward to that because the Bone Season series is magnificent. But anywho's, so that's really it for reading updates. I should really go get ready for bed. It's just kind of been like an exhausting week, like mentally exhausting. Like my brain has just been in overdrive all week and I'm like, would you please just be quiet? Please. Like, please stop overthinking every tiny little thing. Super annoying. But I also had a service tech come out to the house today because my water softener is acting weird. Like, it was draining so much water, which it shouldn't have been. Like, I know it's supposed to draw water because it draws water to then filter it through, so it makes it, you know, good for drinking and showering and stuff, but it was like just constantly pulling water, and my pump is running a lot because it was pulling water. So this is just like a recent issue. So thankfully my dad is able to actually get off work and come here and be here for the technician, because it's kind of hard for me to leave work some days, and so he was able to come do that, which was nice. And he fixed it. It's so quiet now because it was like hissing, which was weird. I don't know. So we got that fixed, and I'm just grateful that got fixed so quickly because I noticed it on Sunday, and so my dad called on Monday and they had an appointment today, Tuesday. So that was pretty incredible. I feel like there's another update for you all. Yes, there is. So the Kickstarter for Cassandra Clare, I don't know if I talked about that with y'all, but there is a Kickstarter, or was, I should say. It's over now. So we are getting 4 Shadowhunter books that are not being published. They are coming through Kickstarter, and I backed the Kickstarter within the first 48 hours of that. So I'm getting an exclusive first chapter of The Wicked Powers, which doesn't even have a release date. So I am incredibly excited to get that first chapter along with the 4 books. So I think it's gonna be a book every quarter or so for all of 2024 and a little bit into 2025. I am so hyped. My payment already went through. I'm so excited and I am so hyped. So I got the tier with just the 4 books. I wasn't interested in the journal. I know a lot of people were. And originally I had pledged an extra like 20 bucks because I was like, ooh, maybe that'd get us to our goal because I wanted gilded pages. But unfortunately we did not make it to that stretch goal. So I went back right before the Kickstarter ended today and took off my like $20 extra because I'm like, I'm not going to invest that 20 bucks if it's not going to get us gilded pages, and it did not. So that's fine. So I just paid for the books and got rid of my extra pledge, but I'm real hyped. I cannot wait. I think it's going to be so fun to get 4 little presents all throughout 2024 and a little into 2025. And I'm a huge Shadowhunter fan. I think it definitely has its issues. The first series is real cringy, but I just have a nostalgic love for the Shadowhunter universe, so I just had to buy them. So I should truly stop rambling and go take a shower. So I will chat with you all later. Look at who's in my blanket basket. That is for my knitting, Miss Ma'am. You are so silly. Hello. Please ignore the hideous rash that is on my face right now. Looks like I have really bad sunburn, but apparently with Hashimoto's you get like face rashes, which is very unfortunate, and it totally makes sense, you know, with my numbers being up, that I'm developing a rash, of course. So we're still rolling, we're still vlogging, because this is life, you know, it happens. So it's Wednesday and I'm currently up to chapter 50 in Priory. Nope, A Day of Fallen Night. I keep wanting to call this book Priory, but A Day of Fallen Night, and I'm still absolutely obsessed with it. So I kind of think I could maybe finish this by like next week. So I will save all my final thoughts for a recent reads video, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be able to finish this next week. So I do have some other reading updates as well. I did finish the audiobook of Notes on an Execution. I finished listening to that this morning, and that was definitely one of the best books that I have read this year. It was so perfectly written and the audiobook was absolutely fantastic. I just could not stop listening to it, and I finished it in just a few days, which for me is a little unheard of right now. Like, I feel like I haven't finished books in a few days in a long time, so I just devoured it. I couldn't stop listening to it. It was just so perfectly told. I don't think another author could have done this book as good as this author did. I just loved it. I give it 5 stars, which I have had like no 5 stars this year, so I'm so glad to have found a 5-star read. I'm absolutely obsessed, and I would highly recommend this one. Definitely make sure you're in the right mind space for this book for sure. It is definitely a heavier, darker read, but totally worth it in my opinion. And then since I'm still cat sitting, I definitely needed another audiobook, so I started Yellowface by R.F. Kuang, which I have been really wanting to get to since it came out. And I'm like 20% into this. Like, this book reads incredibly fast, and oh my gosh, the audacity of this main character. Like, let me just give you a reenactment of my facial expressions while I was listening to this cat sitting tonight, because they were quite comical. Like, there's a camera at the place where I cat sit, and I'm sure she's just like, what are you listening to? Let me reenact, but I will just, you know, hold the book for demonstration's sake. Exactly like how I was reacting, like mouth open, just like, what? Like, I knew what this book was about going into it, but I just, wow, the audacity. So, if you're unfamiliar with this book, we are following a main character who has a name, which I should say. We are following our main character, June, and she has a friend named Athena. I think it's Athena. It is Athena. So June is an aspiring author, and her and Athena have been kind of pitted against each other in the publishing world as being rival authors. Athena has been soaring through the ranks of publishing. She has published a couple of books. She's beloved in the book world, and she's making a ton of money in publishing books. Meanwhile, June is not doing so well. She's had one book that she's written, and it's not doing very well. I think she's only sold about 2,000 copies and is making no money on this book. She aspires to be just like Athena. She wants to be that author who makes like millions off of her books, and she's just not there. Like, there is a lot of jealousy and almost bordering on hatred towards Athena in the first couple of chapters. She's so incredibly jealous, and she's seeing all the actions that Athena is taking in her career as an author as direct punishment to June. Like, June is taking everything so personally. Like, Athena is telling her about, you know, making millions on these books or whatever, and June is just like, yeah, she's just like rubbing it in my face. And it's like, no, she's just telling you about her successes. But R.F. Kuang is doing an amazing job of making you sympathize with June and being like, yeah, that is really rough, and yeah, Athena is being really mean. But it's like, if you kind of like zoom out and just kind of look at it from a bird perspective, I guess, that's really not the case. But how June is seeing it, we're in June's perspective, that's exactly how it reads. So you sympathize with her as things go on. By a really weird circumstance, Athena passes away, and June is at her apartment at the time that it happens. Athena was telling her about this manuscript that she was in the middle of and had given it to June to read, and June still has it and has read through it and is like, wow, this is going to be a big deal in the publishing world. Like, this book is gonna make a lot of money. She's like, you know, I think I should just edit it for Athena. You know, I think that's what she would want, is for someone to just edit it a little bit and, you know, put it out in the world, because this story deserves to be told. She completely changes like almost the entire book and rewrites it in such a white gaze, because the book is about like colonialism, and I believe it's about a war that was going on in China. Yeah, so the book was an experimental novel about the unsung contributions of Chinese laborers during World War I. I just want to make sure I got that fact correct, because I knew it was like important. So anyway, so June like completely rewrites this book, and she goes to her publisher like, hey, look at what I wrote. And the publisher's like, wow, this is amazing. And so then it goes out to bid, and the big five are like competing over this book, and it's just wild. Like, oh my gosh, like when we got to that point in the story, my mouth was just open. I'm like, really? But her justifications, like, I almost feel bad for June. Like, I'm almost like, yeah, do it. But then I'm like, no, wait, what? You know, I just think that is the mastery of R.F. Kuang. Like, she's making you feel bad for her, but then it's like, you gotta keep remembering, like, wait, she just stole this manuscript and like rewrote this really important story and really important novel in Chinese history and completely rewrote it from like a white person perspective. Like, ick, you know? But oh my gosh, I'm loving this. This is another book that I'm just devouring and I cannot put it down. Truly think mood reading is just making me find all the gems. Like, I just feel like mood reading is #1. It is truly the best, because you could just pick up a book when it feels right, and I have not been doing that this year. Like, I've just been picking up books because I need to read them. No, I don't need to read nothing. So if I just let my mind just, you know, pick whatever sounds good, whatever fits the mood, that's when I read the best quality. And that's when I love reading the most, is when I'm loving what I'm reading. So I don't know quite where I'm at, but I think I'm about 20-ish% in. I don't really know what chapter that is, but it is amazing. Like, this is so good. It's also like kind of funny, like especially in the way that Athena dies. I kind of laughed. Like, I was like, oh, that's kind of dark, but like kind of funny, you know? Which I definitely think suits this book. Like, I definitely think it's like a darkly satirical, funny book, but a really good critical look at the publishing world and the problems in publishing and books and people thinking that this is an okay thing to do, because I am 100% sure that this has happened, and it's just like, wow. But I'm obsessed. It's it's real good. So that's kind of my reading update for right now. I'm going to go exercise as much as I don't want to, but I know it's just my body fighting against me, but I'm gonna ignore it because I need to exercise. It does make me feel better, and I've been really enjoying the exercises I have been doing, and that's most important. So I'm gonna go do that, and then I need to pack a lunch for tomorrow and kind of get ready for the work day. It should be a pretty quiet rest of the week. I did have a big meeting today, but it all went good. So that's all I really got. So I'm gonna go do that and probably go and chat with you all tomorrow. I kind of was making some thumbnail ideas for videos because I kind of just want to have like a template that I could just like throw the pictures in and be done. Like that's what I also spent a ton of time doing, was thumbnails. And if I just have like a structured thumbnail, I don't have to like do hours and hours and hours worth of work. So I was thinking the staple kind of content I want to do. I was thinking I do actually want to do some themed vlogs like here and there, but they're not going to be scheduled. Like there's going to be no video schedule, like I said. It's just going to be whatever the mood strikes. But I am going to shoot for like a vlog maybe every other week, and then a sit down video maybe in between, but not going to hold myself to that. Really, whatever video comes out is gonna come out, but I do have some videos that I'd like to film, and I also want to read the top 10 Goodreads Choice Award books in the horror section. So I did go ahead and kind of start planning that out. So that will be probably coming in like later 2024, but I think that'll be a fun project. I've never done that. I've always wanted to, and I own / have read some of them already, so I wouldn't have too many to read. And like 10 books, not too bad. So I made all the graphics for that today, which I'm really excited about. And then I just want to like film whatever, you know, just that's what I want to do. Like I am not going to track my videos like I used to. I'm not going to plan them out. Just going to sit in front of the camera and talk about books like I used to. Just make it casual, make it comfy, make it just fun instead of work, which I have to do all day, and I don't want this to become work again. So anywho's, I will chat with you all later. Hello. It is Thursday night. It's like almost 10 p.m. I should have been in bed like an hour ago. But I just got home from book club like 20-ish minutes ago, and it was so fun as always. I love book club. It is the highlight of the month, and it was super fun. None of us read the book. I think one person like technically read most of it, but yeah, it was not a good time. I read maybe 60 pages worth until this really awful like animal torture scene happened, and I'm like, not for me. So I DNF'd it, and I actually put that in like my review of the book, and I'm glad I did because a lot of people actually read that, which I wasn't expecting, and they decided not to read the book. And one person in book club actually had to put her dog down last week, so she didn't want to read that. And you know, obviously I wouldn't either. And I just, animal stuff, I don't know. It really depends on the context. Like there's some animal things in books that read better than others, but this one was just really brutal. And I get like the scene, like the person who was hosting book club this time, like this was their pick, talked about it more and gave like a full synopsis of the book because like none of us read it, and I really valued that. Like that was actually really helpful to understand the story, because I'm like, what the heck is even happening? The book I'm talking about is Glue by Irvin Welsh, I believe is the author's name, and I just couldn't read this, and unfortunately I paid $28 for my copy, and it cannot be sent back. Like I probably could, like I'm sure Barnes & Noble would take it back, but I don't know. I'm not that concerned about it. It could be a book that sits on my shelf and will remind me of the person who picked it, so you know, not a bad thing. But yeah, so it wasn't a great time, but the book we're gonna be reading for December sounds so cute and fun. So our December pick is Small Town Big Magic. I think it's on KU, and it looks like such a fun time. It looks kind of like fantastical, possibly cozy fantasy romance, maybe? I don't really know, but I love the cover. It looks real cute, which I think we need after Glue. So looking forward to reading that in December. yeah, so that's gonna be it from me. So I need to go get ready for bed. I should have been like going to sleep right now, but I'm kind of hyped. Like, I don't know, seeing your friends, it's just like hard to like settle down after that because like I only see them once a month. But we are gonna plan a Barnes & Noble trip, which I'm so excited about. So we're gonna go to the Barnes and spend money. So I'm looking forward to that. I didn't go to the last one because I was having a flare-up day and was feeling awful, so I didn't go, but I would love to go to the next one. But autoimmune diseases, so fun. Anywho's, I need to stop talking, but I can't stop talking because I just won't chat about books. Like, that's what I've missed so much about this like 3 weeks that I've been gone, is like I just miss chatting about books. Like, I only get to do that once a month with book club, and it's just nice to be able to do that in a more chill, like, I don't know, just I get to talk about life and books, and I've missed that. Like, I just feel like I'm just chatting with a friend on here, and it's nice. Anywho, so I'm gonna go and I will close out the vlog tomorrow. I don't think there's too much to really say in this vlog, but yeah, so I don't know if I'm gonna do weekly vlogs because that's where I was getting really stressed out, was trying to push out a vlog every week. I really want to focus more on the quality of my videos and like edit them and watch them through and like make sure they look as best as they possibly can and just are better production quality, I guess. So there's, like I keep saying, there's gonna be no schedule, but I do want to try to just make videos. That's all I'm really shooting for. And I would like to film a wrap up of some kind. I'm thinking of just doing like recent reads where I just talk about 4- and 5-star reads that I've had recently, because I just have so many like 2- and 3-stars that are just not worth talking about, that I think focusing just on 4- and 5-star reads is going to be really beneficial. And then another thing that I hate about wrap-ups is trying to give you all a summary of the book or talk about my thoughts, because sometimes I forget details about books, even if I did give them 4 or 5 stars. So I did order a notebook that I want to keep with me at like all times and use that as a space to journal my thoughts about books. So if I like have a quote that I want to talk about or reference a certain page, or just try to give like a really brief summary of the book and just kind of do that, I think that will really help me be more succinct in my videos, because I really struggle to be coherent in like sit down videos. I feel like my brain is just all over the place because I'm not like scripted, like I'm just kind of talking about whatever comes to mind. And I don't care if my vlogs are unscripted, because these are supposed to be like just hang out with me for a couple days or whatever, but I want my sit down videos to be a little bit better, I guess, than before. So that's the plan on that. That should be here hopefully next week. So I should have a Day Fall Night done by then. And we got to talk about Yellowface, which we're going to talk about tomorrow because I really need to go now. But I will chat with you all then. Happy Friday! We did it, friends. I don't know how. Today was like the longest day ever. Also, let me readjust the camera just a little. I swear I felt like today would never end. And it's kind of because I had to take a weird schedule. So I got to work a little bit early, clocked in at like 7:40 and was just working away. And then I get a call from my doctor's office and they were like, hey, could you come in like right now? I'm like, sure. And they wouldn't tell me why. Like, they didn't say if it was scheduling error or what. So I just told my supervisor, I'm like, hey, I have to go to my doctor's appointment like right now. And my appointment wasn't until 10:30, so I'm like, this is weird. So I drive over there and I'm just like super nervous because I'm like, why are they demanding I come in now? And they take me right back basically, and I'm like sitting in the room and they take my blood pressure, which is like really high. I'm like, yeah, y'all are making me nervous. Didn't say that, but I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm just sitting there and sitting there and sitting there, and finally my doctor comes in and it's basically just an increase in my meds, which I had figured, but I don't know, the way they did that just made me so nervous because I'm like, why are you calling me in like early? And they never did say why, but that was easy. It's like, okay, well, I was expecting that. So basically I'm going to be taking a new dose, and then he wants to see me in like 8 weeks to see how it's going. So got that scheduled and we'll go from there. So nothing terrible, which was great. That's good. So Then I had to take a 30-minute lunch. Usually I get an hour lunch, so I was gonna pick up lunch because I didn't pack anything, and so I took lunch at like 11:15 and went and picked up food and got my mom something too, and then went back to work and clocked back in. It took me 30 minutes just to do that, and so I ate once I was clocked in and stuff and gave my mom her lunch, and then I spent the rest of the day in the office, and it just felt like forever because I would usually, take lunch midday, but I kind of took lunch in the morning, and it made the afternoon so incredibly slow, but I made it barely. And then I also had to stay late because of my appointment, which took forever. So I also had to go cat sit, and so I just got home and it's like 6 o'clock. So I'm quite exhausted. I'm ready to just like chill for a little bit. So that is the plan, but I just want to pop on here and close out the vlog. I am so excited to be coming back to BookTube. I've been remaking like my channel banner, and I made some new channel art and stuff, and my reading sprints thumbnails. We are bringing back reading sprints, and I'm going to try to be more consistent with them. I would like to do, if not bi-weekly, then at least monthly reading sprints. On Sundays will probably be the day that I do it, because Sundays are a really chill day for me usually. And of course I'll sprinkle in some other random times if I have the ability, but I do want to be more consistent with reading sprints, because those kind of videos I don't need to plan. I just have to like show up and read, which is so easy. So that is a plan with that. And for videos, like I have mentioned a trillion times in this video, and I'm probably cutting them all out because I am saying things over and over and over and over again in my videos, which I need to stop doing. But I am going to try for a video a week, but I'm not going to vlog every single week. So we'll just kind of see where that takes me. But I'm hoping if I'm not weekly vlogging every single week, then I can have some more time to do fun creative projects on the side that are maybe like vlogs or sit down videos or something a little bit more creative and things. So we'll just see. But I'm so excited to be coming back to BookTube. I feel refreshed. Like I feel like I really needed a break, and maybe I will try to schedule that into my channel, like having like channel breaks for myself, because consistently and constantly making content is quite difficult for me when I am working 40 hours a week and have a house to take care of and cats to take care of and myself to take care of. It's a lot to do by yourself. So I do want to make time for all of that, whilst also including BookTube into the mix without getting too stressed or overwhelmed by it. But so far, I think what I'm doing is really nice. Like I'm not scheduling anything. Nothing has deadlines or timelines. It's all just happening as it happens. So that is going to be it for this vlog, my welcome back to BookTube vlog, I guess. So I hope you all enjoyed. I really miss y'all, and I will see you all in another video soon. Goodbye!